Schulteiner, member of Engine, Jobs Not Jails, County Legislator for Rhinebeck and Quinn. There's a lot of talk tonight about evidence-based practices and principles. Evidence-based practices and principles. For 7 years now, ever since I read an article in Mother Jones magazine by Douglas McGray called Life on the Inside, for 7 years now, I've been asking for this county and the county legislature to get behind a housing first approach for the chronically mentally ill, drug addicts and alcoholics that have been cycling in and out of the system, the sheltered. And I'm just gonna leave some material here. Because I'm hoping that after 7 years, maybe somebody will take it seriously. I know Jackie Brownstein, just retired, former executive director of Mental Health America at Dutchess County. For a long time, Jackie Brownstein has been pushing for housing first. We still don't have it. It's no matter how bad or screwed up you are as a drug addict or alcoholic, boom, you get your own apartment, you get your wraparound support services that set you up for success instead of failure, and it works. In Westchester, in New York City, in Chattanooga, in San Francisco, it's $57 a day. It saves $20,000 to $30,000 a year per person. Evidence-based practices and principles, but we don't have that here in Dutchess County. Time Magazine and CNN have reported on Newark. The mayor there, Cory Booker, has started a fraternity for fathers behind bars that cut the recidivism rate from 65% to 3%. But I guess Time Magazine and CNN are lying. Of course, I've tried to get my colleagues in the county legislature to make this happen in Dutchess County. It's not happening. Evidence-based practices and principles. New York Times Magazine, 3 or 4 years ago, New York Times did an editorial about the Commonwealth system reentry in Brooklyn, slashed the recidivism rate in half. We don't have anything like that here in Dutchess County. That's evidence. That's evidence. In Albany, for decades, Father Peter Young, pyhit.com, Father Peter Young has been trying to come into Dutchess County for decades and decades. And the power structure in Dutchess County has refused to allow Peter Young. They are saving $14 million a year in Albany County by making sure that people get jobs and certainly they don't recidivate. I heard something on NPR just a month or so ago about the Youth Empowerment Project in New Orleans. Cut the recidivism rate to 7% for those kids there. The Project Return program at Youth Bureau, which we don't have any money for, served 194 kids here in Dutchess County over a 5-year period. Only 8 of those kids were closed out due to out-of-home placements. It's sad, sick, and twisted what's going on. It's insanity what's going on. Tompkins County has a population 1/3 ours. They save $400,000 a year with a bail loan fund for people that are accused of nonviolent misdemeanors. The Dutchess County Mediation Center used to have a program that helped juvenile delinquents. We don't have any money for that. Jody, I believe you might recall that program. No money for
wrap up. I'm sorry, you're 3 minutes still, not the topic.
Okay. Stop the madness, stop the insanity.
Hello, my name is Joshua Simons. I'm from the Center for Research, Regional Education, and Outreach in SUNY New Paltz. I prepared a statement. It's doubtful that I'll actually get through it, but I'd like to leave it with the council. I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to comment. Some of you may be familiar with our work with regards to the potential for collaboration amongst county jails in our region. It's gained statewide recognition that can be found on our website. We appreciate the effort invested in this report and find much of it compelling. Dutchess County deserves a great deal of credit for both its innovation in providing a robust system of alternatives to incarceration and for the professionalism and efficiency of the administration of the county jail. Furthermore, it's our opinion that the county is past the tipping point where avoiding the current direct and indirect costs of boarding out inmates potentially makes available the resources to build a new facility and therefore building a new jail makes sense. Some aspects of the report under discussion this evening, however, bring up questions for us. Most importantly, we are concerned that the 2 elements of the report are not integrated. One major section is focused on alternatives to incarceration, the other is to new jail construction, though in the real world these, as you have mentioned, are integrated matters. Put simply, the projections of the study and the future demands of incarceration are made without consideration for the proposed initiatives to mitigate these demands. To summarize, the regression analysis is not actually a regression analysis. It's a linear projection which takes under account the assumptions that A, the jail population is always going to increase, B, it's always going to increase at the same rate, and C, that it's never going to decrease, which directly conflicts with the first portion of the study, first 26 be seen as a attempt or an effort to make sure that that doesn't happen again. But in projecting demand, a multivariate analysis that actually takes
One
into
minute.
account these sort of things is necessary. With regards to the staffing analysis, utilizing Broome County as a basis for the staffing analysis doesn't take into account the fact that the Broome County Jail opened in 1996 and achieves their staffing ratio through double bunking. Well, it was a word to caution with regards to Dutchess County. In Ulster County, that jail was sold as a zero staffing increase, but the projections didn't play out and actually ended up being a staffing increase. Now, this is just a word of caution. I mean, we can learn from the problems in the past. And the short-term savings to be achieved through the temporary pods is a really compelling argument to move soon. The real question should be how much and what kind. In some, avoiding the current costs of boarding out inmates, overtime costs associated with boarding out, and the potential costs of rehabbing the current facility to bring it up to code are compelling arguments for construction of a new jail. Basically, we'd like to see a right-sized solution for this long-lived and very real problem. Thank you.
Thank you.